I find it derogatory to say that I took a reference. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
This is a part of my life. This is family. I run my house. I'm a homemaker. I know how to cook and clean.
Only saw Shefali in Ruxana's role.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been impossible for me to imagine anyone, even myself. Now, though, after you see her perform it, there's no scope at all.
Yes.
Earlier, when I began, it was, you're either the heroine with a shelf life of 18 to 22 or 25. Your expiry date came really fast.
Koimoi.com.
These are two meaty characters, two women with so much substance, right? Ruxana, Maya, both. Tell me at one point, जब shooting हो रहा था, were you guys, let's just exchange the characters, let's just swap the roles, both of you?
They were written with, Suresh had very categorically written it with Vidya as Maya and Shefali as Ruxana.
Okay.
And both of us, we trust Suresh a lot. I trust him implicitly. And I admire his vision. I loved Sulu. So there must have been some thought he put into it. And I love Ruxana. I think she's so on the edge.
Yes, she is.
So on the edge. And she can go anywhere.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah. And she's on a very sharp, jagged edge of a mirror.
Yes.
It's not a comfortable, it's not a tightrope walk. It's just that no matter where she goes, she's going to get scarred.
Yes. That's
true. Also, since Suresh had told me that he wrote this with Shefali in mind, every time I read it or I heard it, I was only imagining Shefali as Ruxana.
Okay.
So because now I've watched so much of Shefali's work, not to say that she is predictable in any way, but sometimes you feel like you begin to see an actor in a role. And I only saw Shefali in Ruxana's role.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been impossible for me to imagine anyone, even myself. Now, though, after you see her perform it, there's no scope at all.
Yes.
But even before that, for me, I couldn't even imagine myself. No chance.
Thank you, Babu.
That's cool. But creating these women, tell me, what were your reference points, your source material for both of you? Because they are so far away from what your real selves are, right?
I think life. Yeah,
Life.
sorry.
No, go.
No, please, that's all. Life, yeah. You say that.
So, Ruxana, it's not far from who I am. I'm a mother.
Yes.
And I would go to any length for my children.
That's
I really would. Like any other mother would. So that's not so far out. As far as what work she does or which strata she belongs to is not something that I find it derogatory to say that I took a reference. Let's put it that way. This is a part of my life. This is family. I run my house. I'm a homemaker. I know how to cook and clean. So it's not like I had to see someone else do it. And I genuinely believe that yes, you can take a reference, or even for Delhi Crime. The character I play is, Chaya Ma'am is a real life. It's based on somebody, but there's only this much you do.
Yes.
Then you create that person on your own. So Ruxana is her own person, and so is Bartika.
Yes.
So you create that person. And I don't know anybody else, and I don't really ever want to know anyone who's in that situation. Honestly, I don't want anyone to ever be in that situation. So I don't know it. And I'm glad I don't.
Yes.
But I know that if I had to face it, what would I do? And I would do anything to protect my children.
That's true. That's one of the most articulate answers I've heard in the longest time.
Thank you.
I have to say that. So, Vidya, you have been candid about how there was a phase in your career where you were rejected or replaced from more than 10 films. There was a phase. And without a reason. Shefali, it took a good decades for a major chunk of people in the industry to realize your worth as an actor. Now you guys stand in such strong positions when you look back. Do you feel it's a better place for budding female actors compared to what it was for you?
I definitely think there's a lot more work happening now, and the approach is more professional. You have casting agencies. When I started out, there were no casting agencies,
Yes,
and things just happened. One thing led to the other for me. I didn't even have a portfolio shot, but I guess this was what was meant to happen. I really desire it from my heart, and it happened for me. But I definitely think it's a better and maybe even a safer time for women actors. Also, in terms of the roles, even for budding actors, the girl who played your daughter in Delhi Crime, for example, comes to mind. Such a young girl, but such a
Yashaswini.
lovely actor.
Yashaswini.
Oh,
Yashika, no?
Yashaswini.
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 Yes,
So, so many actors like that. She's so young. There are, and not just, I don't mean a budding actor can only be that young, but, women of all ages are getting their breaks even now. And I think it's fantastic.
that's true. For you, Shefali?
I agree with it. And they're not just getting their breaks, they're getting breaks with very meaty roles.
Yeah.
That is great. Because earlier when I began, it was, you're either the heroine with a shelf life of 18 to 22 or 25. Your expiry date came really fast. And or then you were only known as a relationship to the main actor.
Yes,
Someone's aunt, someone's mother, someone's neighbor, someone's friend, that kind of a thing. But today there are full-fledged roles being written for women, and they are real and they're complete. They're broken, they're complete, they're flawed, they're blossoming, all of it put together. So it's not confining to what was required of the so-called heroine. Also, it is also happening because content is changing.
yes,
Today content is king. It's richer. There are characters written. There are no boxes to be ticked. So, and the OTT coming into directors writing scripts for women and women of all age. So it is great. It is fantastic, and I completely agree that I think it's a great time for newcomers because they're going to touch wood, probably not have to go through what let's say I had to go through is a wrong term because I never put myself there out as a heroine. And
yes,
then of course very early in life I just got cast as God knows what. But I'm playing age appropriate roles. I am a part of the core team, the
yes.
core of a film, and which is great. There are writers and directors who want to write stuff for me, for us, and that is finally happening. And that is also happening because of the the changing of the face of cinema today.
Yes.
So, I think it's a great time for female actors. I think it's a fantastic time.
It's a happy place finally.
Yes, long way to go to be
Yeah.
really happy, but I think, and more than long way to go, I hope it never stops. The
That's
moment
true.
we
That's
feel
true.
we've
Yes.
reached that place, then there's no possibility of growth. So it rather just be blossoming more and more.
That's true.